A librarian is working away quietly one afternoon, stamping books and putting them on the trolley, when a chicken walks in. The chicken comes up to the counter and says, "Book, book, book." The librarian looks around, shrugs, and hands the chicken 3 books. Off it goes, books under one wing. A couple of days later, it's another peaceful afternoon when the chicken returns. It goes up to the counter and says, "Book, book, book." The librarian gives it 3 more books and off it goes again, books under one wing. This goes on for a few weeks. Then one day the chicken turns up and says, "Book, book, book." "Hang on," thinks the librarian, 3 weeks are up and it's not brought back that first lot. So she does nothing. But the chicken just stands there, peering up at her, and saying, "Book, book, book." Eventually she gives in. Just to be rid of the thing, she hands it another 3 books and off it goes with them under one wing. This too goes on for a few weeks. By now the chicken has had several dozen books and not returned one of them. Nothing the librarian does seems to get the message across. Every time the chicken turns up, it ends up leaving with 3 books under its wing. By now she's getting worried. The missing books are starting to show, and she thinks she might get into a bit of trouble, not least for lending books to a chicken. So one day she decides to do something about it. The chicken arrives, walks up the counter, and says, "Book, book, book." The librarian hands it 3 books and off it goes with them under one wing. When it's turned the corner, the librarian lifts the counter and tiptoes out after it. She trails it down the road, and across the park, and through the town, and past the school, and through a gate onto a farm, and down the farm track, and past the barn and the hayloft and even the chicken run, until at last she sees it by the side of a pond. She hides behind a couple of milk churns to watch.